restoring merit to government service. Wow. Okay. Better take a drink. Reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service. Well, that sounds refreshing, doesn't it? By the authority vested in me as President of the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including sections 3301, 3302, and 7511 of Title V, the United States Code is hereby ordered. Section 1, Policy. American citizens deserve an excellent and efficient federal workforce that attracts the highest caliber of civil servants committed to achieving the freedom, prosperity, and democratic rule that our Constitution promotes. But current federal hiring practices are broken, insular, and outdated. They no longer focus on merit, practical skill, and dedication to our Constitution. Federal hiring should not be based on impermissible factors, such as one's commitment to illegal racial discrimination under the guise of equity, or one's commitment to the invented concept of gender identity over sex. Inserting such factors into the hiring process subverts the will of the people, puts critical government functions at risk, and risks losing the best qualified candidates. By making our recruitment and hiring processes more efficient and focused on serving the nation, we will ensure that the federal workforce is prepared to help achieve American greatness and attracts the talent necessary to serve our citizens effectively. By significantly improving hiring principles and practices, Americans will receive the federal resources and services they deserve from the highest skilled federal workforce in the world. Make America great again. Section 2, Federal Hiring Plan. Within 120 days of the date of this order, the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy, in consultation with the Director of the Office of Management and Budget, the Director of the Office of Personnel Management, and the Administrator of the Department of Government Efficiency, shall develop and send to agency heads a federal hiring plan that brings to the federal workforce only highly skilled Americans dedicated to the furtherance of American ideals, values, and interests. Americans dedicated to the furtherance of American ideals, values, and interests. Sounds like the American way to me. This federal hiring plan shall prioritize recruitment of individuals committed to improving the efficiency of the federal government, passionate about the ideals of our American Republic, and committed to upholding the rule of law in the United States Constitution. Prevent the hiring of individuals based on their race, sex, or religion, and prevent the hiring of individuals who are unwilling to defend the Constitution or to faithfully serve the executive branch. That's what I'm saying. What's the point of having these people in office that are supposedly supposed to be protecting our civil rights if they're not doing their job and not enforcing it? Implement, to the greatest extent possible, technical and alternative assessments as required by the Chance to Compete Act of 2024. Decrease government-wide time to hire to under 80 days. Improve communication with candidates to provide greater clarity regarding application status, timeliness, and feedback, including regular updates on the progress of applications and explanations of hiring decisions where appropriate. Integrate modern technology to support the recruitment and selection process, including the use of data analytics to identify trends, gaps, and opportunities. Just make sure opportunities in hiring, as well as leveraging digital platforms to improve candidate engagement, and ensure department and agency leadership on their designees are active participants in implementing the new processes and throughout the full hiring process. So they're probably going to need people like me to get out there and be a leader because, well, they're like, y'all are going to have to follow this stuff. So, and if you don't do it, you need to get somebody in there that will. Ensure the department and the agencies have the leadership qualities. The people who are in leadership roles are going to need to be responsible for making sure that these sort of things are applied. This federal hiring plan shall include specific agencies' plan to improve the allocation of senior executive service positions in the cabinet agencies, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Office of Management and Budget, the Small Business Administration, the Social Security Administration, the National Science Foundation, the Office of Personnel Management, and the General Services Administration. to best facilitate democratic leadership as required by law within each agency. The federal hiring plan shall provide specific best practices for the human resources function in each agency, which each agency head shall implement with advice and recommendations as appropriate from DOGE. Accountability and reporting. The Director of the Office of Personnel Management shall establish clear performance metrics to evaluate the success of these reforms and request agency analysis on a regular basis. There sounds like some accountability to me. The Office of Personnel Management shall consult with federal agencies, labor organizations, and other stakeholders to monitor progress and ensure that the reforms are meeting the needs of both candidates and agencies. Section 4, General Provisions. Nothing in this order shall be blah 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 blah. Most of the rest of this is actually the same stuff. If it's repetitive, I won't repeat it. Let's see. It belongs to the executive branch. Functions of the Board of the Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Let's see. Basically, everybody do your job. Applicable law. The White House, 2025. And that is the reform for the federal hiring process and restoring merit to the government service. Wow.